Welcome, everyone. If you're looking for a high-impact medical career where you're diagnosing illnesses and writing prescriptions, but you really want to skip that whole decade-long medical school timeline, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, in this explainer, we're laying out the ultimate 2026 roadmap to becoming a physician assistant right here in New York City.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. The absolute biggest game changer with the PA route, the thing that makes it so incredibly appealing, is the timeline. Think about it. On one side, the traditional MD path is, well, it's a marathon. You're looking at 4 years of med school plus another 3 to 7 years of residency. But the PA route, that offers a substantially shorter 24 to 36-month postgraduate training period. And here's the absolute magic of it. You are still right there on the front lines of primary care. You're diagnosing patients, you're writing prescriptions, you're getting all that incredible fulfillment of directly treating people, but with a much more balanced work-life dynamic.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The NYCPA Advantage. 2. Degrees in Patient Experience. 3. Conquering PA School Admissions. 4. Clinicals, Certification, and Licensure. And finally, number 5. The Ultimate Financial Payoff.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the NYCPA Advantage. The overarching timeline you're about to embark on, look, it's challenging, for sure, but the path itself is actually crystal clear. You're going to start with 4 years of undergrad. Then, you literally step out of the classroom to gain about 1 to 3 years of real-world, hands-on experience. After that, it's into PA school for roughly 2 to 3 years, and finally, you conquer the PANCE exam.
Moving right along to Section 2, Degrees and Patient Experience. This covers Steps 1 and 2 of our roadmap.
Building your foundational armor really starts with your bachelor's degree, and interestingly enough, your major can actually be in almost anything. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely must conquer some very specific prerequisite science courses. We're talking anatomy and physiology, usually 2 full semesters of that. You need general chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, you're also going to need biology and microbiology, plus psychology, statistics or college math, and English. Oh, and a quick reality check on those grades, you have to maintain a minimum 3.0 overall GPA. But honestly, if you want to be truly competitive in this applicant pool, you should really be aiming for a 3.3 or higher in those specific science classes.
2,000. Just let that number sink in for a second. 2,000. That is the jaw-dropping number of direct, hands-on patient care hours you're going to need. It's a massive hurdle for a lot of people, honestly. You can't just read about medicine. You actually have to practice it. And while some programs might advertise the 1,000-hour minimum on their websites, the reality on the ground is that competitive applicants are routinely boasting anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 hours of direct patient experience.
So, you might be wondering, how on earth do you get 2,000 hours? Well, it's by taking on some pretty grueling but incredibly rewarding roles. You could work as a medical assistant, an EMT or paramedic, a certified nursing assistant, or maybe an ER tech, a scribe, a phlebotomist, or a physical therapy aide. You're going to be on your feet, dealing with real patients, real emergencies, and yes, real bodily fluids. And just keep in mind, accumulating this kind of intense experience typically takes 1 to 3 entire years.
Okay, on to Section 3, Conquering PA School Admissions. This is Step 3.
When the time comes, you're going to apply through a centralized portal called CASPA, and this whole application really rests on 3 main pillars. First up, strong letters of recommendation. You need professionals, especially practicing PAs or MDs, who can really vouch for your clinical competence when you're under pressure. Second is the personal statement. Listen, this is not just a generic cover letter. This is where you prove your absolute dedication. You need to explain exactly, vividly, why you want to be a PA. And the third pillar? The GRE. Now, some programs do still require these test scores, though a lot of them are starting to drop the requirement, so you'll definitely need to double-check the specifics for your target schools.
And speaking of target schools, let's take a look at your premier NYC options. These are the highly rated programs that everybody is fighting to get into. We've got Pace University, which is tied really closely with Lenox Hill Hospital. There's the CUNY School of Medicine, the New York Institute of Technology, better known as NYIT, Mercy University, and Touro College. Getting an acceptance letter from literally any of these means you are officially locked in for 24 to 36 months of intensive training, which ultimately culminates in a master's degree in PA studies.
Next up is Section 4, Clinicals, Certification, and Licensure. Let's look at Steps 4 and 5. This phase of a journey requires thousands of hours of clinical rotations. And I want to be clear here, you aren't just shadowing somebody, you are actively training in rigorous, high-stakes environments: internal medicine, surgery, pediatrics, emergency medicine. And because you're doing this in New York City, your program likely has partnerships with some of the absolute best, most intense hospitals in the entire world. This is the exact moment where all that textbook knowledge you've been memorizing is finally forged into actual, life-saving medical intuition.
Once you actually graduate, you're going to face the ultimate regulatory test, which is New York State licensure. The requirements here are pretty clear-cut. You got to be at least 21 years old, you must demonstrate good moral character, you have to be a graduate of an ARCPA-accredited program, and finally, the big one, you must pass the PANCE. That's the Physician Assistant National Certifying Exam. But here is the massive, unbelievable advantage of this path. Unlike dentists or medical doctors, once you pass this exam, there is absolutely no additional residency required. Boom, you are officially ready to practice medicine in New York State.
And finally, Section 5, the ultimate financial payoff. Let's talk costs and earnings.
All right, it's time for a quick financial reality check. NYC Pay programs are not cheap. They can run you anywhere from $100,000 to well over $180,000 just in tuition and fees alone. And that's not even factoring in the notoriously high cost of living in the city. So you'll definitely want to look into scholarships and loan repayment programs. But contrast that upfront cost with the 2026 starting salary. Right out of the gate, newly minted PAs in New York City are looking at earning between $130,000 and $170,000 plus a year. That is an incredibly powerful starting position, and it makes tackling all that student debt highly manageable.
And you know what? It actually gets even better. As you start to gain some experience under your belt, and especially if you specialize in high-demand fields like surgery or emergency medicine, your earning potential in NYC can absolutely soar. We're talking $220,000 a year, or even more. The financial ceiling here is just incredibly high, which perfectly rewards the immense value that you're bringing to the healthcare system.
So, bringing it all together, becoming a physician assistant in NYC is challenging. There's just no shortcut around the hard work. But it is entirely achievable. With some serious dedication, strong academics, and real hands-on patient experience, you can completely empower yourself to make a massive impact in medicine, and you can do it so much faster than the traditional MD route. You get the incredible career, you get the stellar income, and most importantly, you get the profound ability to actually help people every single day. So, I'm going to leave you with this one final question to really think about. Which step of this incredible roadmap are you on right now? Are you currently navigating undergrad and trying to knock out those tricky science prerequisites? Are you deep in the trenches right now, gaining those grueling but absolutely vital patient care hours as an EMT or a medical assistant? Or are you staring down that CASPA application, ready to finally prove your worth? Look, wherever you are in this journey, I really hope this explainer has given you the clarity and honestly, the fuel to just keep pushing forward. Go chase that white coat, and I will see you in the next one.